Dr. Homebrew is brought to you by 5 Star Chemicals, providing safety and cleaning supplies for brewing, distilling, and winemaking at 5starchemicals.com.
Doctor, look.
Stand aside, nurse. I'm Dr. Homebrew.
Clear.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Another fine edition of Dr. Homebrew. About ready to go down in the books here. It's a lovely someday evening. Don't spill that, dude. We're already having accidents, pseudo accidents.
It was a closed container.
It's gonna be
no harm, no foul.
It's gonna be a long night.
That's right.
I
It
feel.
already is.
Yeah, that's true. Has it really? Well, I guess it is getting winter.
Does it feel that long?
It's getting dark
Yeah,
earlier.
It is getting dark.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, man. Here we are once again, everybody. Look at that. And we have a show comprised entirely of in-studio homebrewers, which I kind of like.
In-studio IPAs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to mark it. I didn't want to mention that because, you know, you got to take the good and the bad, I suppose.
Right. Yeah. And it's
Good
like a
with the
Dr. Homebrew flash mob here. It's like, put out the call and boom, they all showed up.
Yeah. Whatever. It'll be fine. It is the IPA show. We do have a Black Rye Double IPA and a Double IPA.
Right. For all of you who've been waiting for this for so long. The all IPA all the time show.
We take what we can get over here, Dr.
We're
Homebrew,
happy that-
everybody.
I like IPAs,
And we're happy
dude.
with it. That's right. People
Yeah,
bring
for
us
sure.
stuff.
And I think they're great for this show because there's a lot of nuances to double IPAs, and they're hard to make. They're hard to make very well, I guess. I guess making beer is easy.
Tell us about those nuances.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of flavors, and then there's some hops. And those two can really mix really well or not really well.
We're off to a roaring
How'd I
start
do
here,
it?
I can see. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Guess
yeah.
you scored a 66 on
You-
this
you-
judge exam.
You weren't wrong.
No, I wasn't. That's the thing. If you never give too many details, you're not really wrong.
Just irrelevant.
Just
But
irrelevant.
Who cares?
Right. Yeah. You asked.
Right.
So that makes
tasted
it
like beer.
right. There's
Right.
some flavors in here, and then there's some other flavors, and
There's some more flavors.
They
And a
can-
mouthfeel and yeah.
yeah, they could be good or bad.
This beer has a mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Right. I have yet to meet one that didn't.
I have flavors.
An empty glass. Oh. Then it's not a beer.
No, it's
We're
true.
getting philosophical here.
We are a little too philosophical, probably, because it is a long night. This is Dr. Homebrew. Before we jump into anything else, I do want to thank our sponsor, 5 Star Chemicals. You can go to 5starchemicals.com. Learn all about how to keep your home brewery clean and sparkling and sanitary and ready to produce great beer. They do PBW, Star San, all that kind of stuff. They have a really extensive line of cleaning and sanitizing products, as well as equipment like gloves and aprons and boots and all that kind of stuff. Everything that you're going to need to really do it like the pros do it. So check them out, 5starchemicals.com. They not only bring you this show, but everyone on the show will receive a little gift pack from 5 Star for coming down and spending an evening here at the Hop Grenade live in Concord, California. The Hop Grenade. Apparently the Giants are on television now. It's like they're like preseason something. What's going on?
Yeah, it's the
preseason
National
opener,
League
right?
Championship Series.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
They're like winning and stuff.
Maybe.
It's remarkably quiet out there, given that.
I know, yeah. These guys must be into the beer out there because they're certainly not going nuts for the sports.
Yeah,
It's
well,
on.
this isn't like the sports bar vibe, and I wonder if that kills it. I wonder if that has something to do with, you walk into a place that has like carpeting, but it just always smells like sour beer, like just soured beer, not sour beer.
Peanut shells on the floor.
Yeah, like then you need to be raucous and screaming every time someone throws a ball or whatever. But maybe here everyone's a little more composed.
Are you saying the Hop Grenade's a place full of composed people?
I guess I did.
Or the hops somehow temper down the fever.
I don't know if I meant it. Maybe it is. Maybe it's the hops.
Let's see if we can keep him talking himself into a corner here.
Those P light lagers will just you don't. The beer is not interesting, so you have to do something interesting.
Yeah,
that's right. You can't scream and go crazy with a belly full of Imperial Stout. You're just going to lay down and take a nap.
Oh yeah, they did good. Awesome.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure they'll be screaming and yelling and clapping and do all that kind of stuff. But baseball runs real slow, right? It kind of moves very slow. It's a very syrupy game. It's not
good
like
for drinking beer too,
hockey or whatever.
When you're at the game, you can just go get a beer, watch it on the TVs.
Yeah, $20.
It's still going to be going when you get back. It's all good.
You'll be all right.
Drop $100 for a few beers for your friends and go back to your seats broke, and it's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. Everyone loves baseball. So I do want to thank our in-studio guests. We have Alex and Scott. Thank you guys for making the trip down here. We will make this as painless as possible. And make sure everyone's mics are on. Yeah, everyone should be on. Black Rye IPA, double IPA, and then a standard double IPA. We have those judged. We're going to talk about those after the break. The other sponsor I wanted to mention is Grog Tag. We do have the Grog Tag, At Least Your Beer Will Look Good gift certificate, $40 gift certificate to the beer who has the lowest score. Kind of a fun way, because everyone who makes a great beer wins already, right? You're making a good beer. You already get the accolades from everyone going, hey, great job, you made a really nice beer. But the second place never really gets anything, and as much as I really enjoy handing out participation trophies to everybody.
Yeah, is this one of those things? You get a gold star just for participating.
No, well,
awesome.
I guess 5-star kicks that in, and that's pretty cool. But the Grog Tech thing, it's kind of fun. It's a little thing we like to do. Their tagline is, at least your beer will look good.
Sometimes that's appropriate, and other times it's not. I mean, sometimes you get two pretty great beers, and then it's like, well, at least that excellent beer that you brewed but wasn't quite as good as the other guy's excellent beer will look good. Even
if I got like a 21 on a beer, which was probably my last score at Nationals, I'd be all right. I get $40 to spend at a cool website like Grog Tag, so I'd be all right with it, man.
That's cool.
Like, fine, sure, I'd get some coasters or a metal sign or something like that. And,
hey, you should come on our show sometime.
They should, yeah. Actually, they've been brewing.
You did once. No, I think you should come on our show with another beer of yours.
Oh God, I did. I should. I might brew on Sunday with Beardy.
Okay,
but we'll see. But that'll probably be his beer. I'll be cleaning kegs.
We'll try to schedule you in.
But I do want to get the Grog Tech guys on because I know they're brewing a lot.
Yeah, it would be fun to have them on too.
Yeah, Steve, one of the owners there, has been brewing. He brews every week.
And what happens if they win their own award? Is that a conflict of interest?
You get $40 worth of your own product.
Can you accuse them of having thrown the event to get their own Grog Tags?
I can accuse them of anything.
That would be a little silly.
Yeah, sure. It'll be fine. Here's a beer. It just tastes like Star Sand and hops. Did I win? And then they'll save $40. It'll be fine. For those of you who want to be a part of Dr. Homebrew and either come into the studio if you want, or mail us your beer. That's fine if you're not in the Concord area. JP at thebrewingnetwork.com. I am catching up, going through the backlog of shows. We're only a couple months out, so hang tight if you've done it already, and I'll get to you. I will get to you. I just sent out a slew of emails, so check your emails, everybody, and make sure you're already not a part of the wonder and mystery that is Dr. Homebrew. Okay.
Time for a break, huh?
Time for a break. We're going to take a break, and then after the jump, we're going to talk to Alex and his Black Rye Double IPA. Alex, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
You ready? All right. You've been in here before, right? Haven't you, Alex? Haven't you been on the show before?
I've never been on the show, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a shame. I don't know why that is. Not even like Brew Strong or any of the other shows that everyone listens to except this one?
No. Nope, never been on the show.
Well, welcome.
Hey, we scored. We got him first.
Yeah, we did. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Let me move my mouse over here. Back after this, everyone. It's Dr. Homebrew. Thanks for sticking with us.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states, plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy f***ing shit.
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Hello, fellow BNers. This is Sully from the 21st Amendment Brewery located in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park. Before Nico and I opened the 21A and before I was a professional brewer, I homebrewed on my small 4-burner apartment stove in a back house in Santa Monica, California, making my extract brews before graduating to the daunting idea of all-grain brewing. Homebrew books and information was hard to come by back then. The internet hadn't been invented yet, along with other things we take for granted today, like electricity and potable water. One thing I wish I had back then when I was learning was a radio show that could teach me the ins and outs of brewing and answer questions that I had about homebrewing, a resource for making great craft beer. The 21st Amendment Brewery is excited to be a proud sponsor of Dr. Homebrew, a great show that teaches you what you need to know about making incredible beer. Good stuff. Listen up, you might learn something. I certainly did. And thanks for your support. Tasty Crack Games.
Now serving patient number 189. Number 189 to the counter, please.
Now back to Dr. Homebrew.
All right, everyone, thanks for sticking with us. Talking about the boys out there having fun at the Australian National Homebrewers Conference. I'm sure they're listening right now because it's like 4 o'clock next Tuesday, I think, down there, and whatever. So anyway, if you guys are listening, I hope you're having fun. It looks like it on social media. They're drinking everywhere. They're just doing a drinking tour, cutting a swath through the beer and the foam and the Australian people down there. I don't know. It'd be cool to go, but I don't know. I'm pretty stoked I'm not there.
It's a fun place to visit, though.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
It's far, I've heard.
It's far.
It's like 20-hour flight.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
Is it?
Make sure you stay for 2 or 3 weeks. Would be my advice.
Yeah.
Get over the jet lag and have some fun.
What's worth it about it that you
It's
can't
just
do
a lot
here?
of fun.
Is it?
Yeah. You can eat water buffalo burgers.
All right.
You can go
sold. Fuck it.
There you go.
You fucking sold me right now. There it is. Water buffalo
You can go
burgers.
diving on the Great Barrier Reef, although there's not much of it left worth seeing anymore. Maybe if you go to the right places, there is.
Go in the middle of the winter and get away from the rain for a while. Have a little summer.
I can never
Depends
get
where
rid of
you
the
go.
rain. There's no way.
Right. Lie in Ayers Rock and commune with the night sky. Not that they'll let you on the thing, but
Just to wrestle alligators. I'd rather stick
they
to the
don't
stereotypes.
have alligators.
I'd rather stick to the stereotypes. Crocodiles.
Yeah.
Sorry. Whatever.
You'd rather stick to the stereotypes. Okay.
Because that's more fun for me.
Is it?
Well, because otherwise I would have to learn stuff. Huh. And my brain's too full.
Now I'm putting two and two together. Okay,
Yeah,
so
there we
this
go.
beer.
Yeah. So, Alex, thank you for again for joining us with
You're
your
welcome.
Black Rye Double IPA. Now you are you've been a home brewer. You've been around the Bay Area for a while, right?
Yeah.
How long you been homebrewing?
Born and raised in Oakland and Fremont, and I've been all grain brewing since 1997.
97. Wow, that's a long time. And you a few years ago, right? You won the Longshot, the Sam Adams Longshot competition, right?
5 years ago. Yeah.
5 years ago for I want to say a Doppelbock. Is that right?
It's a traditional bock.
Traditional Bock. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we've had two Bay Area winners of that, right? Mike McDowell and yourself.
Mike and I were in the same six pack.
That's right. You were in the same six pack, but he won the previous year, and there was some hop thing, right? Was that, if I remember correctly?
Sam Adams was unable to source the hops for Mike's beer, and they gave him the option of substituting or waiting a year.
Yeah.
So Mike, of course, with the longer vision, said, if I wait a year, you guys are going to bring me back to the GABF for free twice.
Right.
So,
he's no dummy, that guy. That's awesome, man. So, okay, so your Black Rye Double IPA. Have you done anything like this before?
This is the second time I've brewed this beer.
Okay. Just this specific Black Rye Double IPA, or I have to imagine a guy who's been brewing as long as you has made a double IPA at least once before.
I've made a fair amount of double IPAs and regular IPAs. And
what drew you to the Black Rye portion of it?
Looking for balancing malt complexity with hops. I mean, everybody can make a hop bomb. Mm-hmm. It's not that hard, but really blending the malt complexity and making a rounded beer was my goal.
Okay. Awesome. Excuse me. All right, Lee. Since you've been picking on me all show, I'm going to make you go first.
Now you're noticing after like 2 years?
No, I'm just commenting on it now.
Okay.
I've been saving it up.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a fun night.
Yeah.
All right, Alex's beer, the specialty Black Rye Double IPA.
It smells good.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It's got the nose. You get a lot of cocoa and some piney hops, some medium-high kind of spicy rye notes, and medium-high, I say that sort of in a relative sense, because usually it's not a very strong aroma, but it comes through pretty clearly here. A little bit of supporting caramel and some toasty bready hints under that. I didn't find any ferment esters, at least nothing I could tell apart from the hops. The hops were, for me, were piney and a little bit of some sort of tropical fruit, but mostly I was getting piney and citrusy. And it's all pretty much to style for what you'd expect for a mixed category beer like this. It was a fair amount of hop, but the specialty character also came through, and they balanced fairly well, actually. I think the hops, maybe if this didn't have the specialty stuff in it, you might say were medium-low for style, but I think to let the cocoa and the rye come through it, they sort of maybe, well, Alex will speak to this later, but I think having them not quite so pungent as they might be in some double IPAs lets that other stuff come through. It's almost black. It's a very dark beer. Good clarity. Pours a medium light tam foam, fades to a low bead fairly quickly. It doesn't have a whole lot of head retention. Could probably use a little improvement there, but other than that, it's a nice, pretty clear black color. Flavor, medium rye, cocoa, malt flavors. Some supporting caramel, not that much, but just a little bit in the background. Medium to medium-low piney hop flavor. Medium-high bittering. A berry ester, a little bit I thought maybe there, likely from the ferment. That didn't taste like a hop flavor, although you never know. The balance started out with a slightly malty start and then quickly shifts over to a more hoppy character towards the finish. Finishes just a little bit sweet, although it's got a drying character from the dark malt. Lingering malt and hop flavors, the same as what was described. There's a little bit of warming alcohol. Actually, it was almost seemed a little bit burning down the throat in the end. I was getting a little roughness on the alcohol in the finish.
All right.
Medium, low to medium. That doesn't make sense. medium low to medium high. I say medium to medium high body, medium carbonation, medium high alcohol warmth with a little bit of a hot edge to it. It's not astringent. There's definitely some drying from the hops and the roast malt, but nothing that's like mouth-puckering astringency, and you'd expect a little bit of drying in a beer like this. Medium levels of creaminess, definitely leaves a little bit of warmth in my throat. Not much, but I was getting a little bit of that. All in all, I thought it was a very nicely balanced beers with a lot of different flavors working towards a harmony. The hop character is a bit low for the base style, but I think, as I noted above, that actually works very well to blend in with the specialty additions. Could almost use a bit less, or maybe a bit less as pungent hop varieties. I mean, the piney and citrus is pretty strong here, but this is probably more a matter of taste than anything else. I thought really it actually balanced pretty well. You might need to reduce the ferment temp a bit, or maybe put a little bit more... get the yeast health improved a little bit for that bit of a hot alcohol edge. It wasn't much, but it's really about the only thing I found which unequivocally should be addressed and changed in the beer, and it wasn't that big a deal. Overall, I gave it a 37. I thought it was a very good beer. It was a very good job of balancing all these different flavors and characters, and it was very nice. I could drink a lot. I probably couldn't drink a lot of this, but I enjoyed trying.
I agree. I could drink a lot of this.
Yeah. It is pretty strong.
I could sip a lot of this.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, go for it, dude.
Well statedly, I agree with a lot of what you said. I'll try to avoid repeating too much. But in the aroma, I did immediately notice the rye spiciness at what I would also call like a medium-high level. Just it's in there with everything else, and it stands out nicely. So that's half the battle with a beer declared with rye, because sometimes that character is hard to pull out. So be interested to know when we get to the recipe what amounts were used, what kinds of rye, if there was anything, just straight rye malt or anything else in there. But little chocolatiness in there in harmony with everything else, and citrusy, resiny hop aromas, kind of at a medium high level, but just well balanced in there too. Kind of a medium level of general ale esters, no DMS or diacetyl or anything. And the other thing I would look for is that it not be roasty, and it hit that mark well. It was generally smooth on the dark malt notes, weren't sharp or biting or pungent. So color-wise, it was rich black and virtually opaque when the glass was full, but as it emptied, you could see that it's pretty clear. And medium-low tan-colored head that did fade pretty quickly, but I can forgive that in a beer that is, has some obvious strength and some alcohol to it, because it is going to sometimes fade away. Although an Imperial IPA should have a long-lasting foam stand. Flavor-wise, again, the malty notes are pretty noticeable up front. You get the spicy rye with some light chocolate, a little coffee and cocoa. A slight kind of acidic edge, but not burnt or anything like that. Just pretty rich malt. The hops stand right up to it, but not overpowering it or going crazy. And I kind of agree that, adding too much more hop would probably throw the balance off and get in the way of some of the other pleasant flavors and aromas in this. Citrusy, resiny hops in balance. Honestly, it's virtually even, balance-wise between the malt and the hops. It's just nicely balanced, but it still meets what I would call a black IPA. Bitterness is medium in check, and it does have some smooth alcohol in the flavor. To me, it wasn't biting or harsh. It was pretty nice, and you get a little hops and a little edge of the malt in the aftertaste lingering. So just a pleasant beer to drink. Body-wise, hits most of the marks you want for like an Imperial IPA. Medium light body with, I would say, medium carbonation. No obvious astringency. Not very creamy or anything like that, but it is fairly smooth and drinkable, which is one of the important elements of the style. It has this fairly dry finish on, finishes fairly dry, and you want another sip when you're done with it.
Yeah.
So, overall, I'd say this beer is as advertised. It's a Black Rye Imperial IPA. It's a big, beefy IPA with moderate hops and some pleasant dark malt in there that's not roasty or burnt or anything like that. It's just this nice hop choices. I'd like to know what hops are used in the recipe. the one thing you could stand to do is maybe back off some of the darkest malts just a touch. It's so dark you can get away with that, and it'll still be nice and black and dark. But and let the hop character shine through a little bit more instead of just being even. It'd be interesting to taste a version where the malt backed off just a little bit, but it was still there overall. But yeah, it's really hard to capture all the elements declared in a beer like this. So I'd say nice job. I gave it a 38, and yeah, very drinkable beer. Very excellent territory. Excellent beer.
Awesome.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like in a beer like this, you can have those black malts maybe clash with the rye a little bit, the spiciness of the rye. But I think it's very well done in that respect.
Yeah, and the black malt thing is always the problem trying to make a black IPA is getting the flavor balance on that right, so they don't just fight the hops.
Mm-hmm.
No, you got to stay away from the darker, really ashy, dark kind of malt character with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I bet Alex can tell us how he did.
Yeah,
Alex.
There's a lot of different ways you can do it.
As he
Cinnamar,
turns,
Carafa, blah blah blah.
right, as he turns to this tome he brought with him,
the leathery.
This is an old school lab notebook sort of thing he's got his recipes in. This isn't even like the crappy ones they give you these days. If you're working in like a biotech company or something, this is like a major lab notebook here.
You should take a picture of Alex with his brewing ledger and post it on the BN site
like
for
the
people.
tome of the ancient recipes.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things about this notebook is you can paste a whole page in it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So you don't have to...
You don't have to write stuff all the time.
Right, yeah. So
you don't have to cut pages down to size.
That's good. So this was a big beer. I used 30 pounds of grain for a 10-gallon batch.
Mm-hmm.
So that pretty much topped out my mash tun.
Wow.
And I had some grain leak through in the recirc. So I think I may have to do some modifications for making another beer this big.
Those are the moments where you're like worried, oh no, that's going to ruin my beer that I've planned so carefully. The grains are getting through.
But there's, obviously a two-row base and some white wheat and some Munich and some Cara rye and Carafa 2 for the dark aspect, and some Turbino sugar, 2 pounds of that for the 10-gallon batch. And the hops I used some Magnum at 30 minutes and no full boil hops, but
no like proper, not proper, but traditional bittering charge.
Right.
Okay.
So I used some Magnum at 30 minutes, and then it was all Citra and Amarillo, and then Citra and Amarillo dry hopping.
Okay.
Maybe the intention there is to limit the overall plant matter in the beer for such a long period of time. I think, sometimes if you can get away with later additions like that and still get the level of bitterness you need, that's a nice strategy.
Is that what it was? I imagine in a double IPA, you're going to have a lot of hops.
Yeah, so it's a tremendous amount of hops to deal with in the boil and trying to run off through all that. And so this finished at 1078.
Okay.
Or started at 1078 and finished at 1010.
Started at 13.
Yeah.
1010. Wow.
So
that's a good.
It ended up at 9%.
Okay.
And one of the ways to keep it from being too sweet was by adding the sugar. So the 2 pounds of sugar ferment out pretty well.
You added that in the fermenter? No, in the boil.
In the boil.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Right. I have a big stainless steel pan, and I spoon some wort in and dissolve the sugar and then pour it in so you don't end up with burnt sugar on the bottom of your boil kettle.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful about doing additions like that.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for the guys on their notes or any sort of clarification you want them to?
No, Brian and Lee are great judges, and I really, really respect everything they can put on a score sheet. So it's great to have that feedback.
Well, no wonder they handpicked you to come in. You just, wow. I beat them all the time. And behind closed doors, I'm screaming at them. But you guys are cherry-picking guests now, and I appreciate that.
A couple of $20 bills goes a long way.
Doesn't hurt, right?
Yeah. Hint, JP?
Yeah.
He's been drinking at the Hofgrenade all night on us here, yeah. No, one thing I thought Lee might say, though, in response to the sugar addition, and that has come up on the show before, is, some people will add the sugars in secondary to feed the yeast. Were you going to say that, Lee? Because you mentioned you got a little hot, warming alcohol.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Little heat.
Actually, I wasn't. I usually think about that in the context of Belgians. I didn't realize he put sugar in here until he went into that later.
I mean,
you could consider that. I don't know if it's necessary. 1078 is pretty high starting gravity, but it's not whopping massive.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I've used sugar to feed yeast, but you can't dissolve 2 pounds of sugar into a secondary fermenter.
Right.
It just won't happen.
It's not possible.
So you need
use
the
the
hot
word.
liquid.
You have to
and-
kind of make a syrup and add it in.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, most times I've brewed double IPAs, I've just put the sugar in the boil too. I wouldn't have thought to do that, but
For Belgian Saisons,
Yeah.
Saison yeast, you need something to keep it going after the Krausen
Yeah.
drops. When I brew a Saison,
Yeah.
I usually add in some.
Because those yeast are
feeding
kind of
sugar.
finicky, right?
The Belgian is. The
Yeah.
French seems like it's a little more robust.
Okay.
I kind of wonder what it would do with the American yeast, though, if it would make it dry out even further and just keep the yeast a little happier longer. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. Somebody could try.
I think Bevo should try
But
it.
it dried out plenty from the 1078 to the 1010, so you're good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's working.
Obviously dry
That's for sure.
and very drinkable with that. Yeah.
And that's why you use 1056, so the Cal Ale.
Yeah.
It usually
And
will
what-
do the job in a beer like that.
What was the rye? I think I missed the
Cara rye, right?
amount and
It was both Cara rye and
Yeah.
malted rye. And let's see, so it's 6.5% rye.
okay.
Wow, that's a lot of rye flavor for 6.5% rye.
Yeah, it's
Well,
yeah.
the
That's
Cara rye, I think, supports that as well.
Yeah.
So it's rye plus Cara rye.
Yeah,
so
some of those darker rye malts are interesting. I got a hold of some chocolate rye malt, and it was fun to make some brown ales with that.
chocolate rye malt.
Chocolate rye malt.
Huh.
And,
All right.
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, do you still kind of get the traditional chocolate malt flavor with a little bit of that rye spiciness,
little
or
bit
is
of
it
the
a different? Is
spiciness,
it a
yeah.
different chocolate?
I made a
thing?
Janet's Brown actually with
Never heard of it.
chocolate rye instead of the regular chocolate malt. And it was pretty good. It had a little spicy edge to it, but not too much. I mean, it was pretty subtle. I think as the malts get darker, that spiciness probably starts to drift away as it's going through the kiln for so long.
Right. Yeah, it'd have to. But yeah, I mean that at 6% plus that Cara rye, that was a lot of rye flavor come through. I definitely wouldn't change that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
What were the hop choices again? Did you say?
Yes.
I missed that.
Citra and Amarillo.
Citra Amarillo. Okay, yeah. Nice classic choices, yeah.
And then some Magnum for bittering.
Fairly modern, but yeah.
So how much of the Citra and Amarillo did you throw in for your late hopping? That's a pretty big charge.
I do weird things with late hopping. So I do two dry hop additions. Oh, for late hopping, sorry. So it's let's see. I did a 30-minute of Magnum, and then a 10-minute of Citra and Amarillo, a 5-minute of Citra and Amarillo, and then Summit Knockout.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole thing ended up at about what was it?
That's a good part about having your brew log for your entire life history, I think, here.
Yeah. Well, this is only the brew log for this system.
Oh, really? Wow. Gold leafed.
I would imagine it's probably on the lower end for IBUs, but you're also getting a little bit of the bitterness from the malt, so that kind of just works.
Not written in ink, just with the wort from that batch. What were we looking at? The IBUs, I think? Is that what you were looking at?
Yeah, I was trying to find the IBUs. It's 65 IBUs.
I was going to guess low 60s maybe, yeah.
Right. And probably not more than half of that came from that Magnum.
That's right. Yeah, those late edition hops. Mike McDole's been talking about that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
How even the zero, most brewing calculators don't calculate how many IBUs are added at knockout.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he has, and he's been pushing brewers to do it. I want to say Matt Brynildson has done some sort of work on that, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you're sitting there whirlpulling them in hot wort for a while, you're going to get something. You have to.
Yeah, for sure.
and the amount
Yeah.
of hops that you have by the time you get there.
Oh, yeah. So much.
Especially in a beer like this.
Yeah.
Hop matter. I can only imagine what that looked like there.
Well, if that's it for Alex's beer, I think we'll take a break.
I hope that's not it. I want some more.
Oh yeah, we'll have some more at the break for sure. But then we'll come back with Scott and his double IPA, and then that'll be it for us. Maybe you guys can catch the last of the Giants game. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows?
We'll see.
All right, everyone. It's Dr. Homebrew. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star Sand, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
As a brewer, you already don't settle for second best. You want great tasting beer and you want great equipment to make it with. So don't settle for the second best grain mill. You want a Monster Mill from Monster Brewing Hardware. Monster Mills are tough, come in 2 and 3 roller designs, and are made right here in the USA from superior materials for longer lasting performance. Pick the mill that's right for you at monsterbrewinghardware.com and take Bevo's advice.
Trust me, it's always better to have a bigger tool than you think you need.
Monster Mills have the best warranty in the business. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit monsterbrewinghardware.com now and check out all the mills and mill accessories. Don't settle for second best. Get a Monster Mill from Monster Brewing Hardware. Are you a member of the American Homebrewers Association? Well, you should be. Members of the AHA can focus on brewing beer, and the AHA takes care of the rest. The American Homebrewers Association advocates on behalf of homebrewers like you to legalize the hobby in all 50 states and make sure that beer laws make sense. Plus, there are many great benefits that come with your AHA membership, like pub discounts that give you awesome deals at bars, restaurants, breweries, and more. Zymergy Magazine and eZymergy for tons of articles, how-tos, easy-to-follow recipes, and news about the hobby you love. And access to the members-only content on homebrewersassociation.org. But the AHA can't do it without your support. Join today so the American Homebrewers Association can keep fighting for your home brewing rights. Visit homebrewersassociation.org or join right now from the homepage of the Brewing Network website. Relax. Don't worry. It's the American Homebrewers Association.
Have you ever dreamed of attending the World Brewing Academy? This year, thanks to Lallemand and Danstar, one lucky brewer will make that dream a reality for free. Lallemand and Danstar invite you to enter the Beer School 2015 contest. One lucky grand prize winner will receive fully paid tuition to the 2015 World Brewing Academy web-based concise course in brewing technology worth almost $4,000. From now until December 13th, 2014, every Danstar yeast packet you use is your ticket to enter. Visit danstaryeast.com for the details and to print your official entry form. There's no limit on the number of times you can enter, so get brewing with Danstar and get your entries in to the Danstar 2015 Beer School Contest. Whether you want to build your home brewing skills or build a career as a professional brewer, this course will change the way you think of beer and brewing. Enter at danstaryeast.com and get the dry yeast advantage with Danstar and Lallemand Premium Brewing Yeast, and enter to win.
And now to the finale of Dr. Homebrew.
All right, everyone, welcome back.
Apocalypse Homebrew.
Yeah, it is the finale, although I think we have to change that because we're only doing 2 breaks. So it's sort of the finale, but it's the finale break.
Does it even make sense to have a finale when there's only 2 beers?
No. Well,
I mean,
yes.
there's a grand. Okay, sure. We got a grand opening and a finale.
Yes.
Okay.
But the finale's in the middle, so I might go back to 3 breaks.
3 breaks.
Yeah.
Well,
So we do the intro, we do the break, we do 1 beer, we do the break, we do the second beer, then we do a break, then we do the finale because it's such a good. You can't.
Oh, that finale. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
I think breaks make sense.
Right.
I need a break.
The problem is there's not that many sponsors yet because we're still a semi-fledgling show. So we'll have like 3 commercials per break, and that's weird.
Do we need to go out with our hats in our hands? Could you sponsor the
shilling? Yes, please do. No,
10 shillings.
Fewer commercials per break and more breaks. I don't know.
That'd be fine.
Your fans will love it. It's not like as long as you don't put like the last break having like 5 commercials. Like old TV shows back in the 70s and the 80s. They always make you wait through like half an hour of commercials, especially when they showed movies, like they had a hot movie on. It's the last 20 minutes of the movie is like 18 minutes of commercials.
Are they gonna blow up the Death Star?
And the last 3 words, and then they roll the credits.
Right.
You won't find out until 12 o'clock tonight.
Until you watch these 15 toilet paper ads. Right.
I like the way TV's changed. They're moving more to that shortened season, a half season, the 12-show format, like the HBO format is what I call it.
Are we going to do that?
We should.
No, we're just sort of running a schedule.
Yeah, no, we just roll
radio.
this thing, dude. Yeah, this is
Radio-ish.
perpetual, right?
Yeah.
We don't have seasons. We're professional broadcasters. We don't need breaks. We're not actors. We don't need to drive our McLaren F1s down Sunset Boulevard and wrap it around telephone poles.
As long as we make the commercials as entertaining as we are, then we'll be fine.
If we're half as good as some of the commercials.
Yeah, as soon as we start doing that, we'll be golden. What? Turn my mic off and turn everyone's mic off.
Awesome.
All right.
Random hand flailing.
Joining us right now is Scott with his double IPA. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Perfect. I'm doing great. Let me just adjust your thing here. So you are a local person. You're an engineer, apparently, as most homebrewers seem to be. Like 95% of you guys are engineers. How long have you been homebrewing?
I have been brewing all grain for about a year.
Okay.
However, my first beer was brewed in probably 82.
Oh, wow. Okay. So were you brewing continuously since 82? No. Okay.
There was a lot of breaks between college. When my kids were young, I brewed for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And now since they're out of the house, I'm back brewing again.
Yeah, you taking over their bedrooms as fermentation chambers and all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Really?
No.
No, okay.
No.
I was going to say, I was real smart right there.
Big differences in the brewing technology from that time till now, huh?
Quite a bit different.
So you've been back at it all grain for about a year?
Yes.
Okay. And have you ever attempted a double IPA before?
This is my 4th batch.
Okay. Consecutively? It might be a dumb question.
Not consecutively, but
okay.
I've been brewing them. It's my wife's favorite beer, so
oh, really?
I've been trying to figure out what she likes and what she doesn't like. And so I've been sort of playing around with the recipe.
And she loves a double IPA. That's her favorite.
That's her favorite beer.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I like it. I like to hear that.
It's a rare thing.
It is a rare thing, right?
I'm lucky there.
Bev, you don't like double IPAs, right? No. She's shaking her head no. Even though there's a microphone, she doesn't want to talk to us, which is fine.
Sorry, it's hard for me to reach my button. No, I do not.
That's all right. That's Sam's.
I realized as I said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not Brew Strong. We don't make jokes like that. We are a clean radio show.
You meant my own. No.
We are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. You meant your on switch?
That one went over my head.
Can you just not talk to me? Because then I don't have to worry about getting my headphones back on and then reaching for the thing and then making myself sound stupid.
Sure. Earlier we had a geography lesson with Bev, and she realized, she goes, oh, we were talking about Montreal. Talking about flying up to visit Blobber one day, and she goes, oh, Montreal. That's like north of the U.S. Yes,
you can still say nasty things to JP just with hand gestures. Then we keep the show clean and we're all good.
She does. I'm number one.
Hey, there it is.
According to her, I'm number one. All right, Scott. Well, we're gonna run through your double IPA here, and talk a little bit about it, taste it, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully, you won't run out of here screaming.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, just start throwing haymakers at Brian and Lee here. No matter what they say, Brian.
No matter
go ahead.
what, that's right.
This is a pretty good hop aroma up front there. It's got some elements of tangerine and grapefruit, a lot of tropically kind of flavors in there, aromas, sorry, up front. And the malt is just supporting low malt presence underneath, a little breadiness, nothing too big as it should be. Esters are medium high and generally fruity, but no DMS or diacetyl or anything. There's some clean alcohol coming through in the aroma. You can definitely get that. Color-wise, it's a deep orangey golden amber color. So it's a gold kind of, it's not quite to amber, but it's not gold. It's got orangey highlights in it. Fairly clear. It had a low whitish head that faded pretty quickly to just a ring of bubbles around the glass, and now even that is gone. But so the head fell pretty fast, and I took it down a little bit for that, but that's okay. It is strong, and it might just be the alcohol doing that. I mean, usually the hops will kind of counteract that and help hold it up. Anyway, flavor-wise, medium-high hop flavor with tropical and citrusy notes, like in the aroma, some resininess coming through. Bitterness is medium-high. Alcohol is also medium-high. It seems like a pretty beefy one, but and just a tiny touch. I thought I got a little bit of solventiness in the alcohol, but and then it finishes dry, and I get kind of like a watery, minerally thing in the background a little bit. I'm not sure what was done, if the water was just adjusted on this or what your water profile is like, but we can discuss that. The hops and the bitterness kind of linger into the aftertaste, but it seems like a pretty clean ale fermentation despite the light little solventy note I got. It's really not offensive at all. But definitely balanced to the hops. Mouthfeel, medium light body, has a low, probably hop-derived astringency in it, but not too intense. Moderate alcohol warmth in there, but still smoothly drinkable. The carbonation, I would say, was a little low, kind of medium low to low territory. If you pump that up a little bit, you could support the head and maybe take away some of that, what I was calling wateriness of it, or push some of the aromas through a little bit more. They're a little muted, but I'm kind of getting to the feedback here. But it's really drinkable and smooth Imperial IPA with just about all the elements you would desire. Good hop choices, I would say. I'd like to know what the hops were in this. They do, like I said, seem a little bit lighter in the aroma and flavor. Pushing up the hops could do it, but I kind of stole Lee's feedback when we were discussing the beer that the carbonation could also do that. And my conundrum was that if you push up the hops, that's also going to risk some more astringency and get a little offensive. So I don't know that I'd want to do that. But yeah, just do hop bursting, late hop additions, and keep it clean. Use high alpha clean hops for bittering to reduce the overall plant matter in your beer. And but yeah, nice beer overall. Really liked it. Scored it a 37, and yeah, you could definitely sip this for a while. Good stuff.
Absolutely, Lee. Even though Brian just admitted in front of a billion people that he stole your feedback. What do you have to add to Brian's brilliant commentary?
Well, I'm not going to hold that against him, especially if we're up to 1 billion listeners.
Yeah, we are. You didn't know that? All of China just tuned in.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not Egypt.
No, not Egypt.
Okay.
No.
All right. So what did I think? I don't have a whole lot to add to that. Good stone fruit, kind of piney, citrusy, a little bit of diesel sort of kerosene notes in the hops, and a little bit of caramel malt in the aroma as well. A little low on the head. It poured a little bit of a medium low ivory foam, but it faded to a low bead almost right away. Again, for the flavor, it's pretty similar to what Brian said. Fairly prominent hops, medium high, not as high as some I've had, but that's okay. A little bit of a caramelly malt flavor. Nice balance with that. A little bit of esters. It's hard to tell if it was all hop or ferment. It's really probably mostly hop in a beer like this. Again, that stone fruit kind of flavor. There wasn't anything that stuck out as being a non-hop related ester in this beer. It didn't come through as like strawberry or blueberry or something like that, which I wouldn't expect from the hops. Finishes slightly sweet, a little bit of lingering alcohol. I found it to be clean. I didn't pick up the solvent that Brian was getting, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Finishes with that stone fruit, diesel pine kind of hops, all very much to style. I actually thought the bittering maybe could be a touch higher in this beer. But I think the main thing, the medium high body, but the carbonation levels were pretty low in this beer. It was a growler. Was brought in, and I don't know, maybe it wasn't gassed up quite enough, and that would probably explain the low head retention or the low driving of the foam. I thought some of the aromas could have been a little stronger for this, especially the hop aromas. I mean, they were there, but they weren't like in your face like you'd expect out of a double IPA. And it might even help drive the bittering a little bit higher. I think its main flaw actually was just a little bit flat, not horribly flat, but when a beer it should have a nice head and a nice drive on the aromas, and I think having the CO2 too low kind of hurts that a bit. So overall, very drinkable double IPA, good hop flavor, supporting malt. Carbonation's a bit low, which is probably, I just went over that, and so did Brian. Could maybe use a little more bittering, but probably just really needs the carbonation pushed up to a couple atmospheres, 2.5 atmospheres where it needs to be. I gave it a 33. If it's gassed up to where it probably should be, I'd probably give it a few points higher than that because it would drive those aromas and flavors a little bit better. It's a nice beer. It's a good job.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Scott, do you have your recipe by any chance?
I do.
Perfect. You want to just give us a quick rundown?
Like I said, I've been playing around with the recipe a little bit. And this one, I actually played around with the malt bill quite a bit.
Okay.
It's like 30% two-row. I put 30% Maris Otter, and I used 30% Pilsner. I was trying to get a little bit more complexity to the malts. I'm not actually sure it actually came through, but...
complexity how? Just different flavors? As we were
a little bit more
earlier?
flavor, a little bit more variety to kind of go with the hops. Again, it was an experiment.
Is that something that would happen the way Scott wanted to?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I wouldn't expect a beer like this, but now that you mention it, I do get a little bit of that kind of just sweet, greeny Pils malt kind of flavor in there. It's kind of nice.
Well, I think that that breadiness that I noted in the aroma could be coming from the English Maris Otter, too. So, and it's got a little crispness from the Pilsner, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice idea. That was not a bad move.
So, I was kind of playing around. I also put about 3% biscuit in there, and then I used about 3% Carapils and about 3% Munich malt. I was trying to stay away from using sugar because I've been experimenting around a little bit, and so I was trying to eliminate adding some kind of a sugar addition. So I've been kind of playing around with the malt bill a little bit.
You got it fairly dry without the sugar, and there's no crystal malt in this.
No, just a little bit of the caramels.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
So I was kind of playing around with that a little bit too because just to see how it changes the profile a little bit.
Well, that's a lot of homebrewing is just experimenting, figuring stuff out. What did it start at and what did it finish at?
It started at 074 and it finished at 008.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, it does not taste that dry. That's probably because it's a little undercarbonated. It didn't
travel well.
No.
It was a lot more carbonated before it got here.
Yeah, say it probably came from a keg, and
it did come from a keg.
Next time, just bring the keg.
Yeah, why not? We'll put it on here at the bar. It'll be fine. We won't tell anybody. Because Alex started about the same and it finished a little bit higher, but this
tastes much sweeter,
a little bit drier. Yeah, and I wonder if it's the rye helped him maybe.
Well, the rye, all the dark malt, and the fact that it had carbonation where it needed to be. So
dark malt even too, huh? Yeah, I guess I never really thought about that.
Yeah, it'll definitely dry out the palate.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, the carbonation did not survive the trip.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't taste like an 08 finish, but interesting.
No,
wow. Okay.
I can get to where this beer is, and I might have kind of given it the benefit of the doubt, and I didn't knock it down too much for the carbonation issue. I could tell it's a well-brewed beer, no major issues, just needs a little, little pepping up there with the carbonation, and you could, if you're getting a little bit of that hot alcohol, what was your yeast pitch? Did you use a big starter?
Yeah, I did a starter. I used that was the other experiment. I used the California Super Yeast for the first time. So I tried that out and did about I think it was 1.5 liters.
Yeah,
starter on it.
That should be sufficient.
It kicked off right away.
Yeah.
What about your hopping schedule?
Hops, I did about 2 ounces of Columbus. This is for a 5-gallon at the 90-minute. And then I use an ounce of Simcoe about 30 minutes in, and then about 2.5 ounces of Simcoe at flame out, and an ounce of Centennial at flame out. And then I dry hopped with kind of a combination of Amarillo, Centennial, and Simcoe, and two different loads, about 3-4 days apart.
Okay.
So calculation 132 IBU. So
yeah,
give or take.
But I don't really believe
give or take it does.
Yeah,
reality,
yeah. A lot of that's associated with the late hot additions.
Okay. All right. What do you guys think about that hop schedule? Pretty solid.
For the most part, yeah, that sounds good. For me, I usually wouldn't boil the hops for 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think you tend to get more extraction of things you don't want with that extra 30 minutes and of the things you do want. And since Columbus can be a pretty rough hop to begin with, that you might get more of that. And there's a little bit of that in this beer, but not much.
Okay.
But you could probably smooth it out a bit more by bringing that back to 60 minutes.
Yeah, now that you mentioned the Columbus, I get a little touch of that kind of garlic note that you can get from that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not offensive. It just blends with the other stuff you have.
Yeah, all that said, you totally got away with it in this beer.
The Amarillo's.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for the guy, Scott?
No. Like I said, I haven't been brewing this beer for very long, so I've been kind of experimenting, so I kind of just want to get some feedback.
Right.
Sure.
So the overall question then, does your wife like this?
She does.
Then don't
it's
change
not
it.
It's not the best version I've had, but she likes it better than the other ones.
Okay, don't change it. Unless she asks you to.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, don't listen to these guys. Listen to your wife.
Yeah, these beer judges said I should do that. Don't change it.
We like to say, "Oh, I brew for myself." No, but you're brewing for your wife, and that's the most important. So keep her happy. Okay, well, let's get to the part of the show where we just kind of do a brief rundown, and we award the Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good gift certificate. Which it seems like the scores were pretty close.
They were, yeah.
So we may have to do
good
some
beers.
on-air maths, which I'm glad we have Beverly for, because no one in here can do math with like 12 engineers or whatever we have.
I have a calculator.
Okay, good. Wonderful. So with Alex's beer, you guys commented on the carbonation a little bit. He could probably pop that up a little bit. And you said maybe a less pungent hop.
Did we comment
on
Alex's carbonation
beer?
Alex beer first.
The double, the
rye,
black
rye. Yeah,
no,
right.
The carbonation was fine on that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know where I was when I was
wrong.
taking notes. I am
you,
wrong.
You were sitting right there.
Shit.
Damn
You
it.
sure? Maybe I was in
Might have
Australia.
been on a break. I don't know. We'll have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm
He is
usually,
trying
I'm
to
usually on a break.
increase the number of breaks.
from 2 to 9.
No, he hit all the kind of elements of what it was declared to be, and had a rye spiciness in there, which was surprising given how little he actually ended up using. He got away with a pretty low amount in there, but that Cara rye might have done something interesting with playing off the other malted rye. But yeah, it was a nice, well-balanced beer between the rye, the darker malts, and the hop character. It was really pleasant. I wouldn't change too much about it. You could push up the hop a little bit or pull back the malt just a little bit, but then it would be a different beer. And I thought it was kind of cool the way it was.
Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe there's a little bit of a hot edge to the alcohol in there. Maybe you could do a little cooler ferment or something with the yeast health, improve the yeast health a bit. But mostly it was pretty good. It was a very nice beer.
Okay, great. And then Scott's, you guys were commenting on the maybe try some more late hopping.
Yet more late hopping.
Okay.
Or pull back the bittering addition to 60 minutes.
Yeah, instead of 90.
Instead of 90.
And get the carbonate. That one needs to get the carbonation up.
Okay.
So it was a little low in the growler.
Okay. Yeah, Bev, I'm just going to tell you instead of typing. Do me a favor. In the cooler, in the walk-in, you know where that is in the back of the bar?
Yes, I do know where the refrigerator is.
Thank you. Well, I don't know because you almost called it a freezer. There's a
freezer in there too.
Shit. There's once you walk in on the right-hand side, there's a bag from Eagle Rock, like a little tote or whatever. Could you bring that in here, please? Because we have a beer we'd like to drink.
I suppose.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is it an IPA?
It's not an IPA. Oddly
man.
enough, it's another gift from Phil, our friend at Beer Merchants.
Okay. Then this can't
he
be the
sent
all
some
IPA
stuff.
show anymore.
Well, it's the all homebrewed IPA show, that's for sure. It's the double IPA show.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the way things are going now. So you also talked about maybe up the bittering a little bit with some more high alpha hops or some higher alpha hops. Or am I picking weird shit today? Am I off right now?
I think you're on the planet your T-shirt would suggest. It's this one.
That's no moon.
Yeah,
that's a space station.
That's what you told her, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Lee commented that the bitterness could go up a little bit. I think, but I thought it was okay, and I think that it would with the carbonation it would play out the carbonic.
Well, fuck.
Bite.
What do I know?
I don't know.
There you go. Notes are
mesh
gone.
with that,
I have no
and
idea
it
what's
would
going on.
But I mean, he hit 132 IBUs. That's what the paper says. I mean,
it must be right. Damn it!
Let's go get it analyzed.
He calculated it. He's an engineer.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, good. I mean, these are really high scores.
Right. Yeah, it's good beer.
Very good. Thank you for coming in, Scott.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
thanks for having me.
Technically, Scott's is the lower of the two, but it's still a very well brewed beer and very. Yeah, I mean, we could drink a lot of both of these beers.
Thank you.
Let's have these guys back again.
Yes, that would be great. So then that means the winner of the Grog Tag At Least Your Beer Will Look Good gift certificate is Scott.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Free labels for your excellent beer.
Yes. And, of course, that is by no means a reflection on how good your beer is or how not good your beer is. It's just a little fun thing.
Strictly math.
I like to do. It's $40. You can go on to grogtag.com and get some cool labels and some coasters or whatever you want to do. So I'll shoot that over to you eventually. Thank you to our sponsor, 5-Star. 5starchemicals.com, of course. Learn all about PBW and Star San and what it can do for you and your beer. Do you use 5-Star products,
Yes, I
Scott?
do.
Okay, good. It tastes like it. Your beer tastes like it. And then as we exit the show, we're going to have some of this Fuller's Vintage Ale, bottle conditioned. This is number 024489, brewed beside the Thames River since 1845, apparently. Look at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, our buddy UK Phil at Beer Merchants.
I think they call it the
What is
Thames.
vintage on this? This is the current
2014,
vintage, right?
yes, sir.
So
That's
it is
correct.
a young vintage ale.
It's a young vintage ale, but if it sits around in my house too much longer, I'm going to drink it anyways.
Let's do it now.
So I might as well just share it with you guys. So apparently they started doing this in 97. I have a bottle of 97.
Excellent.
But
When's the party?
It was back when I didn't understand how to store beer. So I left it in the bottle, in the box, on my shelf of beers for like 10 years. And it's in the garage somewhere because it makes no sense.
In the Concord heat.
In the Concord heat. So it's probably soy sauce by now. But I didn't know that 97. That's
Open it. Might be fine. Bring it and open it.
Open it while you talk.
This one. It's really cold though.
You must open the beer.
I must open the beer. I'll do it like this. Here we go. Oh yeah.
It is good. It looks cold.
I don't think you guys are gonna want any of this.
Don't be presumptuous.
Here, you pour the beer. Let me finish the show.
You like malty beers.
And then that way we can do all the fun things that we're supposed to do. Like I said, thanks again to 5-Star, our main sponsor for tonight's show. You go to 5-Star. No. Hold on a second.
He'll be back in a second. There we go.
That was double IPA. You go to 5starchemicals.com. Find out all you need to do to learn how to make great beer at home. And go to grogtag.com if you're a winemaker or know someone who does. They just launched a brand new website called crushtag.com, tailored to winemakers. There's paper labels, permanent labels, different designs, and all that kind of stuff. So check out grogtag.com and crushtag.com, sponsors of the At Least Your Beer Will Look Good gift certificate. Thanks to Alex and Scott for coming in. You guys will definitely both be receiving a nice little care package from 5starchemicals.com. So maybe shoot them an email. Say, hey, thanks everybody for thinking of my beer and teaching me how to, use some proper products.
How to brew better too.
Thank you to my co-hosts Brian and Lee. Although I'm a little bit more handsome than you guys know a little bit more than I do, so I appreciate that. We have a balance. We have a nice
welcome.
balance of handsome to smarts.
Are you sure?
Our ratio's pretty good.
Are you sure?
No,
No.
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't be.
Beverly's
Okay.
shaking her head, so I
Yeah.
trust her.
You should. This is her actual premiere for actually speaking on the show, isn't it?
Yes,
And
we
she's
haven't
been here
actually
a lot.
we haven't started yet.
But yeah.
We haven't started the show. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you next time. It's Dr. Homebrew.